All right. I hope you guys had a wonderful winter break. I hope to see you guys really soon. I have an appointment with my doctor on Tuesday, and hopefully she'll let me know when I can return. So, if you guys could do me a favor, the packet that you just got, if you guys could turn to page 1. This part of Unit 5, we're going to be talking about proportions. And a proportion, so we're on page 1. A proportion is a statement that two ratios are congruent. So if you remember, congruent means equal. And before winter break, we talked about ratios, and we said that ratios is a fancy word for fractions. So basically, a proportion is two fractions that are equal. If you remember back to the warm-up that you guys just completed, those two, you were working with two fractions, finding the missing number. That was an example of a proportion. They were two equivalent fractions. So before we do proportions, we're going to make sure that we remember how to simplify fractions. So we're going to look at question 1. Question 1 says 18 out of 45 cans of soda. As a fraction, that would be 18 over 45. Now, using our knowledge about multiplication facts, both of these numbers can be divided by 9. Okay, and when we do that, 18 divided by 9 is 2. 45 divided by 9 is 5. All right, do me a favor. I want you to try the next one. You want to put it in a fraction and then simplify it. Go ahead, pause the video and try that one now. All right, hopefully you had a chance to write that fraction as 15 over 75. And then 15 and 75, we can actually divide both of them by 15. If you divided them both by 5, that's fine. I think you probably would realize that you have to divide them again by 3. So 15 divided by 15 is 1. 75 divided by 15 is 5. So our simplified fraction would be 1/5. All right. Now we're going to talk about if two ratios are actually proportional. So if two ratios are proportional, so if two fractions are proportional, their cross products will be equal. What's another word for equal? Congruent. So you probably remember in elementary school doing like a cross multiplying, hopefully kind of look like this, okay? 6 times 7 is 42. 2 times 21 is also 42. Those numbers are the same. Those cross products are the same. So the answer here is yes, these ratios are proportional. If we look at the next one, okay, 5 times 30 is 150. And 16 times 8, okay, if you need to, you guys may go ahead and get calculators up on your Chromebooks. Please make sure we're only having a calculator on our Chromebooks. We are not accessing anything else at this time. So 16 times 8 is 128. And we know that those cross products are not equal. So that's telling me, no, these are not proportional. All right, do me a favor. I want you to try the next two. Notice there are some decimals. You still do cross products just the same way as you would. Just make sure using that calculator you can type in those decimals to get your answers. Okay, so pause this video and try them now. All right, hopefully you guys got 5 times 8 as being 40. 2 times 35 is 70. Are 40 and 70 the same? No. So this is going to be no, these are not proportional. Next one, okay, when you did 15.2 times 21.2, I'm sorry, 15.2 times 21.2, Hopefully you guys got 322.24. Then you're also going to do the same thing here. 5.3 times 60.8. So when we do 5.3 times 60.8, we get 322.24. Are those numbers the same? Yes. So that means yes, these two ratios are proportional. Now, the last part of our notes for today is we're going to actually solve for a missing number. So before we do that, we're going to take a pause and I'm going to have you guys think, pair, and share. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to think about what number would go in the spot of X. Now, X is just a placeholder for a question mark. Like we don't know what goes there. So we need to figure that out. So I want you to think about a strategy that you could use, okay, to find out what would go there. Then you're going to pair up with somebody and you're going to share that strategy with them. Then be prepared to come back together and share as a class. So pause this video, do the think, pair, share now. All right. Hopefully, a lot of you had a chance to think about equivalent fractions. And we know that 2 times 5 is 10. So if we're multiplying that by 5, we're going to also multiply 6 by 5. And that would tell me that x equals 30. Okay. So that's what we're going to be doing. That's one way to find a missing value in a proportion. There's going to be some other strategies that we're going to share with you guys, okay? And then these strategies you'll be able to use to solve your own proportions. All right, so looking at the first one, it's x over 24 equals 75 over 120. So I'm going to tell you a little bit of a story, okay? So stick with me with this story. So there is a couple, and this couple is dating. The couple is 24 and 75, and they love being together. So we're going to, on our calculator, we're going to multiply 24 times 75. And when we get that, we get 1,800. Now, this couple is doing great, except there's an X that is not wanting the two of them to be together. And this X wants to divide them. So notice that 24 and 75 are across from each other, like diagonal from each other. So that's our couple. And then the number that's by itself, okay, is the X. And that X wants to divide them apart. So we're going to divide by 120. So using our calculator, 1,800 divide by 120, and our answer would be 15. So X equals 15. Okay, this strategy works all of the time. Okay, all right, we're going to try that one more time over on the next one. So looking, we have 7 over n equals 63 over 108. Now, looking at our cross products, we have 63 and n. Those aren't both numbers. Okay, so our couple has to be 7 and 108. So we're going to take and we're going to multiply 7 times 108. And when we do that, we get 756. Now remember, they're the couple, and one of their x's wants to divide them apart. So the x wants to divide them apart. So we're going to divide by 63 because that's our other number. So 756 divide by 63. And we would find out that n equals 12. So that's one way that when you're solving for a proportion will always work. I'm going to share with you another way that works sometimes. Okay, so looking at 2/9 equals 8 over x. Think back to the equivalent fractions. Is 2/9 equals 8 over x equivalent fractions? Yes, they are. So how would I get 2? How would I get 8? I would multiply 2 by 4. And if I multiply 2 by 4, what do I have to do to the bottom? I also have to multiply it by 4. So what's 9 times 4? 36. So in this case, x equals 36. So equivalent fraction strategy that we just did works sometimes. Do me a favor, pause this video, try one of these strategies, okay? Either the cross products or equivalent fractions, okay, strategy. Try it on this last one and then be prepared to share your answer. All right, the strategy I used is I went ahead and did 9 times 2. That's going to give me 18. And then I'm going to divide by that x that doesn't want them to be together. 18 divided by 3, it would be 6. So u would equal 6. You might have done that a different way, but you should still get that same answer. So those are all different ways that you can solve proportions, solve for that missing value. All right. I want you to try these last two, okay, just for a little extra practice. And then you may try these two, pause the video, and then come back for to check your answers. All right. Do me a favor, check your answers. Should be x equals 30 for the first one, and then x equals 76 for the last one. All right, that is our notes for today. Okay, what you guys are going to do at this point is you're going to take a formative in MathSpace, and then the remainder of class, you're going to be working on an activity. The Sum It Up activity, you are more than welcome to get either scratch paper or a whiteboard and a dry erase marker to show your work. All right, talk to you and see you guys soon.